Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Dawn Busters. It's still nighttime, but daylight's on the way, I guess. I just finished watching the Major League Baseball highlights. We did a hangout last night. We were supposed to do Chivas Regal, but unfortunately, John and Neely and the Whiskey Scout weren't able to do it. But it was no big deal because I wasn't dying. I was interested in doing it, but I wasn't like dying to do it. Even if I was dying to do it, people have stuff to do. It's Labor Day holiday, so that happens. No big deal. Then we did a hangout on Thrash Metal Homebrew's channel. That was very good hangout, and we talked about all kind of things like all over the board. But they had from England Kent Beer Reviews, Craig Samuels. He's got a good channel. I watch his channel. Well, when he does beers that I've had, I never watch reviews for beers I haven't had. You understand? Thrash Metal Homebrew. He does a lot of home brewing. I don't really have a particular interest in home brewing, so to watch somebody do home brewing, I wouldn't. But he has interesting hangouts, and so I'll watch that. And he's very interesting. Another person very interesting to talk to. Oh, we were talking about the flavored beer explosion, and Craig Kent Beer Reviews was saying it's not as big in England, but over here it's going crazy, right? And not to mention flavored whiskey. We could do a whole channel on that, but I won't. Then John and Neil joined. He's with Georgia Beer Reviews. He always does great videos. And Thomas Metal, Eric Fraunfelder, Thomas Metal 75 with Massachusetts Beer Reviews. He's been busy, so he hasn't been able to do many videos, but he did do one yesterday. Was there. And Ronnie S., who doesn't have a channel yet or may never, but he always has interesting comments. And well, it was very good. Okay, Drewski Brewski said, let's start a riot. No. So then that was a good hangout. So let's see. So that's a Jack. Did I pour it in the right glass? Yeah. Starting to talk about a hangout, and I'm forgetting to put it in the right glass. All right. I think I'll be able to tell them apart, but I'm not too sure about Blanton's. Like, I know I should be saying, "Oh, it's the greatest thing," and it's wonderful. It is wonderful, but and I do appreciate Sonia giving it to me. Thank you, Sonia, because she wasn't going to drink it, and she said, "You can have it. I'm not going to drink it," and I wasn't going to let it waste. But it's $60 a bottle, and I don't know if it's really worth $60 a bottle. I guess some things are very expensive. It's what makes it noticeable, or what differentiates it from the others? In other words, is it the flavor? Really? Is it that much better of a flavor? Or I'm thinking about this off air. Or is it just that it's higher proof and you can pick up that 93 proof versus 86, or in this case, 80? I'm not really sure. Now, I did put a link below for the Jack Daniels green label, this number 7, which you can't even buy in Louisiana. You can get it in Texas. See? It's got gold. It's a green. What is that color? Like olive green, something with gold writing, and then there's some white writing. And if you have the Evan Williams green label, they're trying to make it look like that. I think they're trying to make it look like that. Made in Tennessee, bottled at the distillers, charcoal mellowed. The Evan Williams green label is charcoal filtered, mellowed filtered. Sour mash, the Evan Williams sour mash. I think the sour mash kind of differentiates it as well. Like there's sort of like I used the description sourdough bread, bagel, sourdough bagel. It's really not an accurate description. Whiskey does not smell or taste like a sourdough bagel. But I don't know how else to describe it. Like, you understand what I'm saying? I don't know. I can't. I don't know what terms to use. So I just try to make the closest approximation. And I guess we do that with beer reviews, wine reviews. You try to make a close approximation. So here we go. They're both the same color, really. Maybe this, I don't know. I'm trying to say one is a shade darker than the other, but I don't see any difference. All right. I really don't see a difference. Drinking Sailor Jerry here. Oh, that's a rum, huh? Yeah. I never had it. I see Admiral Nelson, Sailor Jerry. But there's so many rums. You could get caught up in. I think I'm going to end the rum thing. Not that I'm anti-rum, but I was like, I can't do this all the time and do everything. So I have 2 rums left unopened. The Ron Puntalba Gold and the Ron Puntalba Silver, whatever they call it. It's clear. They don't ever say clear rum, but that's what it is. They'll say white, silver. But I'll do those through the do solo reviews, go through the taste challenge, and I'll probably just quietly let rum die off. No, this is not a channel update. You know, I'm always talking off the cuff with these. I wanted to really get into brandy, but nobody else was interested in it. So I was like, I'm not just going to get on the internet and talk about brandy and get no interest. The main question people would ask me, when are you going to do whiskey? And I had nothing against whiskey. I knew it was very involved, though. So I just said, heck, I'll throw in the towel and just stop fighting a losing battle. There's no purpose in fighting a losing battle. If people want to see whiskey, then I'll give it to them. I had no like great attachment or dedication to brandy anyway. It just seemed something interesting to talk about. Smells good. J&J case is too early for me. I know, right? That's all right. Oh, here comes a little glint of daylight. This is pungent. It's grain. Well, what do you expect? It's all grain. Yeah. Mostly corn. These are mostly corn. Food Quick was, I think, making fun of how I say corn. I don't know how to say these words. How you say that word? Corn. He was saying corn, like with a hyphen, corn. I said, look at him making fun of the way I talk. But I guess I can't say too much about it. Corn, however you say that. Corn bread. Alcohol, y'all. Smells nice. I think it's Jack Daniels. It just smells very standard and kind of mild. Is that a thing? A Jack Daniels kind of mild? Oh, I drank Christian Brothers brandy for many years, says Drisky Brewski. Yeah, that's a good. I saw that at Walmart just 2 days ago. And it was $9.97. I said, look at them. They lowered the price $1. And then Paul Masson and there's a new label for the E&J, but Paul Masson and E&J went up $1, $2. Oh, what else things fluctuate? Ooh, I love these early morning streams. Says get Carter beats. They get me out of bed and go to my morning classes. Hey, well, I appreciate it. This one is corn bread, fermented grain, distilled grain. There's some aroma with these. I can never place it. Like, what is it? You say, what's whiskey? That's what that could be. But it's making me think of something else, and I can't put my taste bud mind on it. Is it dried flowers? Is it, like I said in the past, candied fruit cake, fruit? You know, you get in those Mylar bags. I don't know what it is, but it's something. Something distinct. Okay, now which one smells better? I think Sazerac and Brown-Forman both have sort of like a house character. Their yeast strain, I think. And this seems to have that Brown-Forman yeast strain. I don't know how to describe it. It's something. Get Woodford Reserve, and you'll see some commonality with that. It's a full nose, though. This is a milder nose. I'm going to tell you the truth. I really can't tell them apart on aroma. Now, you want to pay $30 more for a whiskey that you can't tell apart from Jack Daniel's Green Label? But on aroma, see, yeah, people say, well, I don't buy whiskey to sit and smell. I buy it to drink. Good point. But on appearance, it's a draw. On aroma, it's a draw. Well, that's two of the three components, right? I guess, is there a fourth component? Experience, the feeling or something? I guess that's part of it. People will say, well, this certain liquor gives me a headache. Whatever. That doesn't do it. That doesn't bother me, any of them. So I can't talk to that. I know some people are very sensitive to it, like it give them a headache, stomach problems, certain ones. So, but it doesn't affect me that way. So I can't comment something that doesn't affect me because I have no relationship to it. Here we go with taste. So right now it's sort of a mystery to me. Sort of. Man, it's such a cornstarch taste. Next time you see cornstarch, just get a little, like, lick your finger and get a little bit on your finger and eat it, and you'll say, oh yeah, somehow I know that flavor. Yes, that's the bourbon. Funny. I don't mean comical funny, like strange. I think that's got to be Jack Daniel's. It's so mild, like it's 80 proof, but it doesn't taste any stronger than that. Let's go here. Oh yeah, haha. I was on the right track. Whoa. It makes me shudder. It's so high proof, 93 proof. Whoa, it's a full mouth. It like goes straight in your bloodstream. You're like, oh, I got shocked by who's that guy that used to fight Spider-Man? Elektra? Not Elektra. That was the woman with Daredevil. It was really a ridiculous like villain. He had this leotard costume, you know, his tights and lightning bolts on it, and some electricity coming out of the outfit. Well, if you think about comic books too long, it's all pretty ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? All the costumes, and it's even worse now with all the politically correct garbage in it. It makes it worse. It took something that was questionable all along, all right? Comic books, and it made it way worse. So it took a questionable art form and make it way worse. Yeah, I know. I have thousands of comic books, but I mean, I'm not 8 years old anymore. I can kind of say, okay, I see what I'm dealing with. When I was 8, it was so exciting when I get the Batman coloring books and everything. But okay, so there's no doubt this is the Blantons. I'm gonna look now. I'm gonna say B. It's got to be. There's no way it's Jack Daniel's. It's impossible. B, Blantons. Okay. Got it. But I thought I was going to get, you say, well, it's not really a challenge. It isn't much of a challenge. Going 80 proof to 93. I'm sorry, it's not. It is not. Oh, I forgot to mention Alex the Beer Master was on last night. What am I thinking? But he does a channel that is kind of related to beer, but mostly related to food. And I don't do the food hangouts because they do it on Friday nights, and I don't eat a lot at night. He probably thinks I'm trying to avoid it. I'm not. I would do any of those things probably if it was during the day at lunchtime. But then, of course, the other people, they're not off of work as much as I am, and so they can't. So in a practical sense, they can't do it. But yeah, if you want some interesting food examinations, taquitos this week, ramen noodles. Yeah, check that out. Alex the Beer Master, focusing on food. Oh, sorry, Jesse Merrill wasn't with us last night with his channel, Bumpy Road Brewery. But a lot of people are busy on Labor Day. Okay, down to it. Which one tastes better? Important thing to consider, the most important thing. So taste challenge, as far as differentiation, telling them apart, ain't a challenge. No kind of challenge. This is the touchy part. Which one tastes better? And I try to be objective. You say, well, you can't be objective with an opinion. I understand you can't really, right? But I'm trying to say, okay, which one seems better quality? I'm sure they're both extremely high quality. Brown-Forman got Jack Daniels down to a super science, all right? And 35 years, they've been making Blantons up there at Buffalo Trace, formerly Shinley, and I'm sure they got it down pat. It's obvious. Cheers, says Drewski. Cheers to you, Drewski Brewski. The first time, I wish we had recorded it. The first time I tried this, I told my friend David, I said, really, to me, it's good. There's no argument, but it tastes like a ramped up, amped up Buffalo Trace. There's a lot of similarities in the taste profile, and I've never done a solo video for Buffalo Trace, and I intend to. That's a much cheaper product. You say, well, could you not theoretically take a Buffalo Trace and instead of cutting it with water to 80, because that's what they do with these whiskeys, they cut the proof down to the desired proof. Instead of cutting it with tap water down to 80 proof, couldn't you just therefore choose to cut it down to 93 proof, leave it in a barrel for 6 to 8 years, as people say, let it age? I don't know what Buffalo Trace's age, at least what, 4 years? I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know. And just sell it as Blantons? Could that be? I don't know, because I don't know the mash bill. I've seen PDF files of people showing the Sazerac mash bill, but I don't think Sazerac shows that anymore on their website. That's just old cached pictures on the internet. So I doubt it's the same thing. I would be shocked if it's the same thing. But you could still be similar and not be the same. Get me? Similar, but not exact. And I think Blanton's has a lot of similarities with Buffalo Trace, and it just is a higher proof. Now, is this the last question, and then we're off there? Is this $30 a bottle better? Because you figure 22. I think this is a liter now. This is a liter bottle. I think this was $24.99 for the liter of JD Green Label in Beaumont, Texas. Thank you, Sandra. She brought this to me, and her sister, who sadly passed away last year. Young too. Anyway, so they brought this to me, and I said, well, what do I owe you? Let me get, they said, oh, no, it's a gift. So I appreciate that. But $30. I got to pay $30 more to get Blantons. Is it $30 better? There's the key question. See, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure it's $30 better. It's different. Jack Daniels is distinct, and I can see where a lot of people would say, "Oh, don't give me that sour mash, cornbread thing, sourdough bagel thing. I don't like it, whatever." And when you drink Old Crow, I know that's from Beam. It has similar. It's younger, 3 years characteristics, but $30 a bottle better. Is it $30 a bottle better? People say it is, all right? People say, yes, it is. I'm saying, I don't know. I don't see that. I wouldn't do it. I'm going to say the truth. I like to be honest, and that gets me in trouble, being honest or saying stuff out loud that I shouldn't say out loud, maybe. Like last night, I'll give you an example. Craig was angry at me. He said, as soon as I got off the air, Jay was putting me down and saying, but I wasn't putting him down. Go watch the video. I never put him down. I said that he had blocked me, unfriended and blocked me on Facebook after I called him out on something he did dirty to me. It's not putting somebody down. I've done wrong and been called out on it and said, well, I admit it. I'm sorry. We should be saints. We're not saints. We have a propensity to sin. We have, what do you call that? We have concupiscence, right? So not to say you should use that as an excuse. It's a reason. But, you say you shouldn't have said that on there. Well, I just do that. I do it. Okay, I'm what you call a loose cannon or something. Well, I know that. But I was saying, no, I like you. I like everybody in the beer world, really. I like them in the whiskey world. And I just say stuff. And so I'm be honest. I'm saying, you say you shouldn't be doing that on your channel, going out saying that Blanton's is not $30 better than Jack Daniels, whereas everyone knows it is. They all know that. You're hurting your channel because it hurts your credibility. People know that. No, maybe I don't see that. Okay, I'm going to say I don't see it. All right. I had somebody furious with me because I said Sam 76 was bland and I didn't think it was that good. I preferred Genesee Cream Ale, and somebody was angry and saying, well, look, I checked the processes for both. And he was saying that Genesee basically cheats and uses a shortcut to achieve a cream ale, whereas Boston Beer Company, Samuel Adams, uses a more genuine process. And I said, yeah, well, still, Genesee tastes better. So the process is fine. The final result is, to me, ultimately what's important. I mean, I'm glad that Boston Beer Company uses a more genuine process to achieve their cream ale style Sam 76. Still, it's still dull and bland to me. You say, well, a lot of beers are dull and bland. I know, but they're not $8.99 a 6-pack. I could buy Keystone Ice for $7.99 a 15-pack, which to me is clearly better than the Sam 76. Not arguably better. To me, it's clearly better. It's got a richer flavor, better body, better taste, just an overall more enjoyable product to me. And I just think that a lot of people would agree. And but people might say, oh, you're positioning, you're taking some kind of position, you're in some kind of, what's the old accusation? You have some kind of underlying angle to help, like in this case, to help a mass produced bourbon like Jack Daniels overcome a more craft style bourbon like Blanton's. But it isn't true. Wrong. That's wrong. It's wrong. I'm tasting them, and I'm not seeing $30 better. It's arguably better. It's higher proof. It has different flavors. But I don't know. Are they better flavors? I just can't, I cannot say that. They're different. Okay, they're different. Now, if you want to pay $30 more a bottle for different, go ahead. I mean, you're not bad to do that. Somebody asked me the other day, is it bad to drink beer out of a can or bottle as opposed to the glass? So, well, it's not bad. It's not a matter of bad or good. Most brewers would recommend that you pour it into a glass because it releases esters, it makes more foam, and it makes the experience more enjoyable, you see. So I agree with that. All right. So anyway, I'm saying that by default, right? Who wins by default? Jack Daniel's Green Label wins by default. Why? Because the flavor is different, but it sure isn't worse. And I know they got Jack Daniel's haters out there. I mean, they're really haters. They flip out. You say the word Jack Daniel's, they go into almost like a seizure. They really go berserk. It's got too much bite. It's harsh. It's not smooth. It's not harsh. It's not smooth. I mean, it's not bitey. Or they'll even say it's garbage. Jack Daniel's is garbage. No way, it's not garbage. Okay, I'm sorry. So I say that Jack Daniel's wins. Why? My nose was itching. Because it's no worse. Different don't mean worse. The quality's there, and you save $30 and maybe more. Now that's just the way I'm seeing it. Now let's look at what's coming up Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Sorry, Thursday. Oh, Woodford Reserve. I like it. It's fine, but I was thoroughly underwhelmed with Woodford Reserve. If there was ever a product that didn't live up to the hype, to me, it was that. I mean, it's good. I know there's a lot of controversy about sort of like a flim-flam thing about it, that it's not as purified as they claim. It's sort of a blended bourbon. Now, I don't mean blended bourbon like 49% grain neutral spirits. I don't mean that. I mean a blend of straight bourbons. But I would say that Blanton's is going to whip up on. You want to see a whipping? You want to see a whipping? I think Blanton's going to whip up on Woodford Reserve. I know it's a lot more expensive. I know, so it's $55 to $60, and Woodford Reserve is what, 32? But nah. I just think Jack Daniel's is way better than people give it credit for, and I think maybe Blanton's isn't. All right, I ain't gonna say that. You're not gonna catch me saying that. I'm gonna say Blanton's. I enjoyed it. All right, and I didn't have to pay for it. Maker's Mark is my favorite, says Drewski. Huh? I've never had that. You believe it or not? Never had Maker's Mark. All right. So that's it. Off to the races. Thanks for watching this video production. And actually, this turned out exactly the way I predicted it. I thought this is what's going to happen, and it literally happened to a T. There you go.